What you want to know? I dug deep into the region last year, 2023. I came out here on behalf of Bridge Entertainment in Middle Beast. And when I first got here, man, I felt like home. I was at ease, you know what I mean? A lot of times when I'm traveling, it's just pickup days and I'm just not really getting a chance to actually feel the culture. I was here long enough last year to feel the culture. And it was something about it. The food was great, healthy. The options, the music scene is growing. The appreciation for hip hop was there. Those are all music to my ear. XP's impact is big, especially for the region. But I'll take it back any further. Like last year was the 50 years of hip hop, and the first time that I got to experience people in this region dancing from anything from Queen Latifah, UNITY to Eminem, Lose Yourself, all the way to Gunna and Young Thug. It's like, wow, it's a learning process from all genres, and then also just all years of hip hop, the 50 years of hip hop. So it was a lot of fun last year, and it was all brought to you by XP. You know what I mean? Soundstorm is heavy here, and that's festival style. But again, it's dance. It's got hip hop. It's a lot of fusions. But I feel like with XP, you get to learn. I did a speaking engagement when I got to touch the crowd and talk to them about my experiences. This year I did a workshop displaying some of my biggest records that I've made throughout my career, and was able to do a Q&A with other producers from the region or DJs that have some issues, pros and cons of growing big and how to be seen outside of the region and in the region and just moving forward. So I got a chance to touch the people twice. I love the city, you know what I mean? It all clicked for me. It's gonna sound crazy at 5 years old. 5 years old, I started DJing and playing with instruments, going with the drums and turntables and things of that nature. And I started from 5. I started rapping at 8. I started making my own beats at 10, 11 years old. Those were the pretty much starts of the personal level, my personal relationship with music. Professionally, it started around 98, 99 when I got to Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, and that was college. And that was basically where I was able to display those talents for other people. DJing clubs, the cafeterias, the streets, and even making tapes for for people to go home for. Atlanta's a melting pot, so anything I made, people will go back to Minnesota, they go back to Chicago, LA with our material. So that was my professional career, Early on, I didn't know that I was gonna choose this because it was like brushing my teeth. So it wasn't really something that I was pursuing, it was just something my life was already doing. As I got older, you start to understand things, then you realize, oh, I could really make some money off of this. That was never my agenda, and it just happened. Passions was started off for me because you can't do anything, I believe, as a creative without the passion for it. I think at some point you could do it and it just slows down for you. When passion carries you through the fire, when you want to quit, when you have bumps in the road, when you have good times, you're grateful for. And those things help you develop character, helps you become a better brand. I'm not saying producer, I'm just saying a brand, in order to get to the next level of making money through a brand. So your brand, you're displaying different sides of your talent to become profitable. And that's what, it's the better place when you're trying to move and you're passionate about something and don't have to, do something that you don't want to do to make money to survive, to get to the next level and keep funding your brand. So my passion still moved through, even though I was making it a monetizable thing. I still was passionate all the way through. So I still never lost that when making money. What I can bring up about being vice president A&R, long story short, I was producing them in Atlanta, and I felt at some point that I needed to learn the business a little bit more. So basically what I did was I took a job at Def Jam, which is one of the biggest labels out for rap, and the legacy they've had is, unparalleled. I basically wanted to learn the real business of it, why record sales go up and down, what is publishing about, royalties, mechanicals, how to ship a record to radio, all of those things. And I think you can't learn that just being out. You gotta, some of the kids now have YouTube and you have information, but this is information that's sold secondhand sometimes, and you don't know what to believe. I actually got a chance to see contracts. I actually got a chance to see Lift Up the Hood, and what I say, that they use nitrogen here. Basically that was my way of learning the game. And once I learned enough, I was able to step out and do it on my own again with the knowledge and business I learned from the label. Jack Harlow. It's impossible to shorten up his legacy, even only being 4 or 5 years in the game. But if I was to paraphrase his career as of now, dynamic, classic man with the intent for people to hear his story. And I feel like moving forward, you will see somebody that was grown from the grassroots to something that being as big as a tree in its essence of a plant. He started out as, most artists, super passionate, convicted about what they wanted to do. He knew all the steps that he needed to take to get there. And he knew that he was going to break over time. He didn't rush himself. He didn't move through different styles of music. He stayed to himself. He kept it moving. I was just telling a story in my workshop about how I watched him perform in front of 10 people all the way into 10,000 people in the midst of 3 years based on hard work. And he always treated the 10 people like the 10,000 people. He never lost a step. So that's very important when you come into an artist, because you know where you're coming from, where you're going, and your respect for the culture and your respect for human beings and your respect for your fans means everything. Ego's the enemy 1000%, but it's hard to get rid of the ego when you're in a competitive field. You have to keep that up for, machismo, kind of like, kind of like savoir-faire, alpha male energy that you want to use in the industry. I feel like you can't let go of your ego, because that's what helps you carry through when nobody else will be beside you doing it. But he's one guy that has tamed it outside of the competition, and that's the problem. Some people take it outside of the competition and use it for different things, and he's been classic enough not to carry it out and look like one of those guys that people will end up hating eventually. My experience, and to go to the next level, my advice is to keep it gully, keep it as street as possible. And when I mean street, it's just ground roots. You know what I mean? Never look back, look forward, and just work your behind off, bro, because it takes a lot of work to get here. I remember working, people always say, put your 10,000 hours in. I put 100,000 hours in before I even saw $350. So I think those are the things like are traditional to what people are saying when they say just work hard and God got you. Yes, but also make sure you know who you are, because if you ain't authentic to yourself, then you ain't gonna make it.